Somewhere tonight, someone is lying awake because of something another person said to them today. A careless comment, a dismissive glance, a certain tone of voice. They'll replay it before they fall asleep. Then again tomorrow. Maybe for the rest of the week. As though that other person somehow reached inside their mind and left a splinter there. But here's the strange thing. They didn't. No one can physically place a thought inside your head. And yet, it often feels as though they have. That gap between what happened and how deeply it's allowed to wound you is one of the oldest problems in human life. And almost 2,000 years ago, a man with more reason to feel besieged than almost anyone alive figured out how to close it. His name was Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome, which sounds glamorous until you remember what it actually meant. Plagues, wars on multiple fronts, betrayals from people he trusted, the daily grind of governing an empire that was, by most measures, falling apart in slow motion. He wasn't writing a philosophy book for the public. He was writing to himself at night, in a tent, just trying to hold his mind together. That's what makes his notes worth listening to. And here's the idea he kept returning to, in one form or another. Nowhere can a person find a quieter retreat than in their own mind. Not a villa, not a vacation, not distance from the problem. The retreat was internal, a room inside himself that no army, no rumor, no cruelty could enter unless he opened the door. Think of your mind that way, not as an open field where anything can walk in and set up camp, but as a room with exactly one door, and you're the only one holding the key. Outside that door, all day, things show up uninvited. An insult, bad news, someone's rudeness in traffic. They will knock. They will rattle the handle. Some of them will pound on it. But none of them get in unless you open it. That's what Marcus meant when he wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you will not feel harmed." It sounds almost too simple, maybe even a little cold, until you sit with what he's actually claiming. He's not saying bad things won't happen to you. He's saying the event and your judgment about the event are two different things, and only one of them is yours to control. The insult is outside the door. Your decision to let it in and rearrange the furniture is what actually does the damage. Most of us have it backwards. We treat the door like it's already open, like whatever knocks gets to walk right in and stay as long as it wants. Someone cuts you off on the highway, and somehow, that stranger gets to decide your mood for the next 40 minutes. A stranger's opinion of you, someone you'll never see again, gets a say in how you feel about yourself for the rest of the day. But there's a harder version of this problem, and it's the one Marcus actually spent most of his energy on. It's not the knock from outside. It's the alarm that goes off inside the room itself, before you've even had a chance to check who's there. That's what passion and impulse are, not the insult, the flash of heat that shoots up your neck the second you read it, the jolt that has your hand on the horn before you've decided anything at all. Passion is the alarm. Impulse is the reflex to fling the door open and go charging out before you know what you're even charging at. And this is the harder problem, because it doesn't feel like a choice. This is the part most people skip, because it's the least comfortable one. The gap between the alarm and the action. The flash of anger will happen. The urge to say something you'll regret. To buy something you don't need. To fire back at the email. That jolt is not optional, and Marcus never pretended it was. What's optional is the very next half second. Whether the door swings open on its own, or whether you get there first and simply hold it shut for one more breath. Marcus wrote something else worth sitting with. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts, not your circumstances, not what's said about you. This is the whole game. Not don't feel the alarm, which is impossible, but don't let the alarm also make the decision. And this is where it gets practical, because none of this is about becoming numb. The room isn't empty. You still feel, still care, still respond to the world, sometimes strongly. But you're the one deciding what gets acted on and what gets acknowledged and left standing outside for a moment. A colleague's sharp email is a knock, and the spike of anger it triggers is the alarm. Real, physical, automatic. Whether it becomes a reply you can't take back is a separate question entirely, decided a beat later. Marcus put it plainly. The mind is free from violence when it refuses to disturb itself. So the practical move isn't complicated, even if it isn't easy. When you feel the alarm, the flash of anger, the pull of a craving, the itch to react right now, treat that feeling as information, not instruction. Let it ring. Don't answer yet. Ask what's actually behind the door, the event itself, or the impulse demanding you act on it immediately. Most of the time, waiting one breath is enough for the impulse to lose its grip on the handle. Let the alarm sound. Just don't let it also drive. Marcus never claimed the world would stop knocking. What he claimed is that the door was always his to open or leave shut. It still is. It's yours too. No one else has ever held that key.